too big to fail? Is history going to repeat itself in the platform space? Because we've seen companies like Kodak, Blockbuster, MySpace, Toys R Us, and others be at the top of their industry and then completely disappear and fail as companies. Is something similar happening in the platform space? Well, we'll see. In this video, I'm going to compare Topstep, the longest standing prop firm in the future space, with Lucid Trading, one of the newer firms, one of the newer up and coming firms in the future space, and see how they both compare. And this video is going to be super helpful for all of you who are already trading with Topstep and are looking for a Topstep alternative. Want to trade Topstep similar rules, but on platforms like Tradeovate and NinjaTrader, which Topstep currently does not offer. Prefer trading with an end of day drawdown, and dislike challenge accounts that have monthly fees and activation fees. So if you answered yes on all of those questions or most of them, then this video is for you. So let's talk about the challenge account rules, how Topstep and Lucid Trading compare. So let's start with Topstep here on the left. We have a 50K buying power. Okay, so we're going to compare a $50,000 account for both of these firms. I have picked the no activation account on Topstep, and I have picked the flex evaluation on Lucid Trader because these are very similar to each other. So you can see how very similar programs compare with each other. Now, the monthly price at Topstep will be $89 a month. On Lucid Trading, if you use the code STASH, you can get it right now at $84.50 with a one-time payment. Okay, so there is no monthly fees when it comes to this evaluation account. The profit target at Topstep is $3,000, and it's the same profit target here at Lucid Trading. Maximum position size, 5 contracts versus 4 contracts at Lucid Trading, right? So you trade with 1 contract less or 10 contracts less if you're trading with micros. There's a maximum loss of $2,000, which is the same on Lucid Trading as well. And the drawdown type at Topstep is end of day, even though they don't show it there, which is the same at Lucid Trading as well. One-time activation fee, there is none, and there is no activation fee here at Lucid Trading either. Okay. Now on Lucid, you will see that there is a consistency rule of 50%. Topstep does not show that on their website, but if you go into their FAQs, you can actually see that on their FAQ, they have that 50% consistency as well. And they say the consistent target, the best day should be below 50% of total profits made, which is no greater than 1500, right? So you cannot make more than $1,500 a day to pass these accounts, or your target will increase, right? This $3,000 will increase. And it's the same case for Lucid Trading as well because they have the same consistency. So, what are the differences between these accounts just on the rules on the surface, right? Well, on Topstep, there are more contracts allowed, right? You can trade with 1 contract more, again, or 10 micros more. On Lucid Trading, the difference is it's cheaper, right? So, compared with Topstep, it's $5 cheaper, but also it's a one-time fee. There will be no monthly rebilling, so you can take as long as you want to pass this evaluation account, which I think is a super interesting model on the evaluation side, because most prop firms out there, if not all of the prop firms out there, if you go through an evaluation, it will be monthly rebilling as long as you haven't hit your profit target. But with Lucid Trading, you can take forever to pass this $3,000, right? To hit that $3,000, you will not get rebuilt, okay? Now, one other thing on Lucid Trading, just so I'm transparent completely with you guys and I'm completely objective looking at these accounts, there is a scalping rule, okay? So you will be flagged, and this is straight from Lucid's FAQ, you will be flagged if more than 50% of your profits are generated from trades held 5 seconds or less, which I think it's fine, right? If you're holding a trade for less than 5 seconds, if you make more than 50% of your profits, basically more than $1,500, because that's your target goal, then you will be penalized. Okay? So make sure you are aware of that rule there, okay? Now, let's say good news, you got funded, right? However long that took you, a few days, a few weeks, right? The quickest, again, the quickest you can pass these challenges with both of these prop firms will be 2 days. 1500 one day, $1,500 the other day, you will pass, right? So the quickest is 2 days, but it can take weeks, months, years, depending on how aggressively you're trading. But let's say you got funded. What happens next? So let's talk about their actual funded accounts. So let's start with Topstep here on the left. After you pass the trading combine, you must wait until the trader report is updated to reflect that you've passed. Okay, so the day should be closed and you should be above that like $53,000, which is your target amount. So that happens 5 to 6 p.m. Central. The trade report will be completed. If your P&L is above that, then you're good, you're passed. It doesn't have to be $53,000 exact. That's what some people ask me. It does not have to be that. It just has to be above it. Okay. Now, the express funded account, the XFA, that's basically what they call their funded account, is where you can start taking real life payouts. Now, the maximum loss limit stays on these accounts. And if you do hit that maximum loss limit, which as we saw was $2,000, you will have to start again on the trading combine, right? You will have to restart this whole process again. And you can have up to 5 XFAs at any point in time, right? So you can have up to 5 funded accounts at any point in time. Now, here's some differences from the trading combine, right? Differences and similarities. There is no more monthly fees, right? So TopStep had that $89 a month monthly fee, right? As long as you haven't passed the challenge, that monthly fee goes away. The end of day maximum loss limit stays the same, right? So that $2,000 end of day maximum loss limit stays the same, and it does stay end of day as well, which is super awesome. The maximum position size stays the same as well, right? So 5 minis or 50 micros. The consistency target is removed, right? So that 50% consistency target is removed. There is no more consistency. You can make as much as you want on these funded accounts. And then a new scaling plan gets added, which we're going to talk about in a bit here. So, what happens on Lucid Trading though? So, after passing the Lucid Flex evaluation, you can activate your funded account in 5 to 30 minutes of your last closed trade, right? So, let's say you close the trade and your balance hit that 53,000. In 5 to 30 minutes, there will be a button on your Lucid Trading dashboard to activate your funded account. Now, the Lucid Flex funded account is where you can start taking real life payouts. Same as TopStep, if you do hit that maximum loss limit on these funded accounts, you will have to restart all over again on the evaluation. You can have up to 5 accounts here as well, up to 5 funded accounts. And here's some differences again and similarities with their evaluations. There are no monthly fees here either. Well, as we saw with Lucy Trading, there will no monthly fees to begin with, right? So that $84 that you're paying is a one-time fee. So the end of day maximum loss limit stays the same. Maximum position size stays the same. Consistency target is removed and a new scaling plan gets added. So as you can see, it's very similar to how TopStep makes the transition as well from the trading combine to their funded accounts. Now, the big difference here, and the only difference really, is with Lucy Trading, there is a real time upgrade, right? You don't have to wait until the day is over to upgrade your account from evaluation to a funded account. This can happen in real time, as is mentioned here, 5 to 30 minutes after you have hit that $53,000. Everything else here stays the same. Again, up to 5 funded accounts at any point in time. And then the evaluation to the funded account is very similar as well. Well, again, almost identical. Now, let's talk about the scaling plan because both of these prop firms do add a scaling plan. What does that look like? So, on Top Step, if your account profits are between $0, basically as you start the account, up to $1,500, you are only allowed 2 or 20 micros. And then between $1,500 to $2,000, 3 minis or 30 micros. And then once you pass the $2,000 mark, you activate, right, or you unlock your full position size, right? And the balance needs to be end of day, right? So it's based on the end of day account balance. So if you make $1,500 and the day hasn't closed yet, you will not unlock 3 minis or 30 micros. The day has to close, and this unlock will happen for the next trading day. Again, I want to say that you are not required to trade the maximum number of contracts, just do not surpass it, right? And obviously, for a 50K account, which this video is about, that this example is about, you don't even need to trade this maximum allocation either. With Lucid Trading, it's similar, right? So $0 to $1,000 for 2 minis, right? But you unlock the 3 minis or 30 micros $500 quicker, right? So you need $1,500 here on Top Step to unlock that, versus on Lucid Trading only $1,000. And then after 2,000, you unlock your full allocation. Same with TopStep. It is based on end of the account balance. The balance has to close at $1,000 or more for you to unlock 3 minis or 30 micros and so on. So basically, the only difference here, Lucid Trading does have a faster scaling plan, right? So if you want to start sizing up on your contracts, you can unlock those bigger sizes on Lucid Trading a little bit quicker. Payout policy, right? So you got the challenge, you passed the challenge, right? You got funded. how do we get paid, right? What are the rules to actually getting paid? So on Topstep, from the start, the profit split will be 90-10, with the trader receiving 90% of the payout and Topstep retaining 10% of it. Here's two rules, right? These are the only two requirements that Topstep needs for you to be eligible for a payout. You can request up to 50% of the account balance after accumulating 5 winning trading days. A winning trading day is when your net P&L is $150 or more. The 5 winning days do not have to be consecutive, right? So if you have a winning day, winning day, winning day, and then there's a losing day, and then there's a winning day, and then there's a winning day, right? Obviously 150 or more, then you will be eligible on this day right here, right? They do not have to be consecutive. They just have to be $150 or more on your net P&L after commissions and fees, and 5 days basically in total. This is required for each payout request. So if you complete these days and you do decide to request a payout, then those 5 days will reset, right? You need another 5 days for your next payout. Basically, you can take up to 4 payouts a month if all of your days inside 1 month are green completely. There's also a maximum payout a month of $5,000 per payout per account, right? So if you have 5 accounts, that's basically going to be $25,000 per payout. The second rule, and this is only for your second payout or more, right? For your third, fourth, and so on, you also need to achieve a profit greater than $0 since your last payout. What does that mean? So let's say you get the balance to 54,000, right? And let's say you decide to take a payout of $1,000, you're left with 53,000. Okay. If by your next payout, your balance is not greater than this, you are not eligible because of the second rule. Okay. So it needs to be the balance, right? When you take your second payout, needs to be above the balance after your first payout. So if it's 53,000 and dollar, then you're good to go. The minimum payout request is 125, right? Just like we have a maximum, we also have a minimum here. Okay. And then after your first payout, the maximum loss limit moves to your starting balance. Okay. So it moves wherever that limit was, the drawdown, it's gonna move back at where the balance started. So at $50,000 basically. Okay. And lastly, it might take Topstep 1 to 2 business days to approve your request and another 1 to 3 business days for your payout to reach your payout method. And there are three. There's Wise, ACH, and also Wire. So Topstep has those three payout methods. And also about live accounts, after 5 payouts, you'll be considered for a live account. These needs to be 5 payouts in one account, right? Or again, 5 accounts, but they have to be on one account. Basically, if you take a payout on one account and that account gets blown up, these 5 payouts required gets reset, right? They have to be consecutive. How does Lucid compare now? Well, from the start, Lucid is also a 90-10 split, right? 90% of the payout goes to you, the trader, and Lucid gets 10% of it. Lucid also has two rules, and you will see that they are very similar. Well, probably the same. A winning day is counted when a day is $150 or more, and you need 5 winning days, and you can request 50% of your account balance, right? So completely the same there. The 5 winning days do not have to be consecutive. The same thing. This is required for each payout request. Again, same thing. There's also a maximum payout a month here for $2,000. So you can request less per payout here. Okay. So basically $5,000 at Topstep, $2,000 at Lucid Trading, which again, they look like they're a huge difference, but in my opinion, they are not, because here's a very quick example here. If you take your balance from 50,000, okay, all the way to 54,000, right? You can request your max payout a month here at Lucid Trading, the $2,000, which would be half, right? Only if you want to make more money, only if you're like, hey, I'm not going to take a payout until I make like 56,000 or something, then Topstep would be preferred, just because you can take more of it. But for a $50,000 account, I think $2,000 is more than enough per payout. Obviously, you can have 5 accounts there, so that would be $10,000 per payout. If you are a very good trader, if you're an amazing trader, excellent trader, you're having your best month, you can take 4 payouts a month, basically 40K in payouts there. Obviously, Lucid will retain 10% of it. So you'd get about 36K right there. So that's like the maximum you can take from these Lucid trading accounts every single month with no problem at all. Just like Topstep had that second rule, the same rule applies here. You also need to achieve a profit greater than $0 since your last payout, right? We made that example right there. Same rule. Minimum payout request here is $500, so it's a little bit higher than Topstep, than 125. Same thing after your first payout, the maximum loss limit moves to your starting balance. And Lucid, it might take 1 to 2 business days to approve, and then 1 to 2 business days for your payout to reach your account. There's 2 payout methods: Plate and also Work Market by ADP, which basically sends it to your bank account. Lucid live account will be considered after 6 payouts. So you need an extra payout than Topstep to actually qualify for a live account here. Now, differences: there is a higher maximum payout at Topstep, and also there is a lower minimum payout at Topstep. So those are the differences. But in terms of like rules and when you're eligible, and how much you can take out, they're very similar there. Lastly, there is a quicker payout processing time at Lucid Trader by 1 to 2 days there. Now, for the last part here, trading platforms and support. Trading platforms at Topstep, they only have one Topstep X, and support is business hours, chat support, business hours, phone support, business hours, email support. Okay, so they have 3 support types at Topstep, but only during business hours, Monday through Friday. Now, trading platforms and Lucid, there are quite a few more, right? So that's why we've seen a lot of traders start trading with companies like Lucid because of the range of platforms being offered here. So Ninja Trader, Trade08, TradingView, MotiveWave, Quant Tower, Sierra Charts, Jigsaw, Bookmap, ATAS, R Trader Pro, and Multi Charts. Support, well, we have only one type of support, which is chat support. But the good thing here, it is 24/7, 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday, but 24/7. So if you have a problem during Asia market or at another time outside that 9 to 5, Lucid Trading is a little bit more helpful there on the support. So differences here, well, obviously larger number of platforms to choose from at Lucid Trading. Difference at Topstep, there are a larger number of support systems. And the last difference here, there are more available hours to contact support at Lucid Trading. Now, what we didn't talk about in this video is the live accounts, right? So what happens after the funded account experience? What happens after the 5 payouts at Topstep or the 6 payouts at Lucid Trading, right? How do the live accounts compare? If that interests you guys, let me know in the comments below. But I could say this: the biggest difference in those accounts would be Topstep only allows you one live account versus Lucid Trading allows you up to 5 live accounts. It's one of the only platforms out there letting you have 5 live accounts. So, for example, if you have the max allocation on your funded account, you have 5 funded accounts at Lucid Trading, you get 6 payouts on those accounts. All those 5 accounts get moved to live as well. I hope this video helped. I try to be as objective as possible with Topstep and Lucid Trading, exactly going through the rules in detail, not what's just shown on their website pages, because I see a lot of these videos online, comparing firms, but they only look at what's seen on the website, but actually looking at their FAQs and understanding what the rules actually mean and how the payout policies actually work as well. If you want to try out Lucid Trading, code STASH will give you the biggest discount right now, and it will help support this channel, but also a very big project we're working with on the future platform space, which will be launching pretty soon, completely for free for all of you guys watching this video. If you have any questions or feedback, leave them down below. And as always, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.